Hey, what's up, everybody? We are here making the Making Disciples podcast. Jeremy Smith here with you, and we got Vick Green. I want to let you in on a conversation, the kind of conversations that Vic and I have in just our regular conversation. We are actually friends. We love to hang out with each other, and these are the kind of conversations we have. Vic, I want to bring him in. We were talking about our favorite wrestler from the 80s and 90s, WWE, that sort of thing. Don't ask us how we got in on that, but I've been introducing you in different ways. You've introduced me in different ways. This is going to give a whole new angle for people to know you based on your favorite WWE wrestler. Who is it?
Man, yeah, this is so if the episode stinks, it's because we used all of our pre-work time to talk about our wrestling days. And so, yeah, I mean, the two people that I remember growing up, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then Goldberg. Those are like the two that I most remember and all that came with that. And so I'm ashamed of how much I enjoy wrestling. Like I can't actually watch it live. Like I've tried to go back and stuff, but like my childhood, I don't know, the storytelling, all of that. I get sucked into, I know the storytelling, that sounds so bad. I get sucked into the drama and all its dysfunction. And so for all the bad reasons there, I'm pretty sure somebody now like has unsubscribed already. They're just like, the credibility that I had is gone, but it is unfortunately something that like, I'm like, so what's happened? I can't watch it, but I do love to know like, so what happened? Like, what was the drama? And I just want to read the headlines. I don't, but I can't sit and watch 3 minutes of it, but I still follow the headlines. So.
You would have been the perfect guy with the microphone in the middle between the two wrestlers going back and forth, letting them talk trash. You'd have been all about it.
That's right. And so, all right, what's yours before we jump in?
Man, I'm an 80s wrestler guy. I did love Stone Cold and Goldberg, but I got to go back to the Junkyard Dog. I don't know if anybody, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan was back then, Andre the Giant, the Iron Sheik. That's my era back. Ultimate Warrior. I'll have to say Ultimate Warrior was probably my favorite from back in the day.
Oh man, they slam him in every documentary nowadays.
Total steroid.
So again, I watch every documentary. Like I just love to know like what actually happened behind the scenes. Like what was real, what was fake, what was the feud. It's fascinating. Ultimate Warrior is never liked by any of his peers. And so, but I'm glad you liked him.
As a little kid, man, he was it. I don't know if that gives you a little insight into the psychology of Vic and of me or not, that he's a Stone Cold and a Goldberg guy. But Goldberg was cool. I'd say that, Stone Cold. Those are two pretty cool ones. So anyway,
there we go.
Now you know something new about Vic and Jeremy.
There's no smooth transition to talking about mission statements today. So, but I'll let you try.
But you know what? Vince McMahon had a great vision plan for the WWE. He had a great vision plan, which is what we started talking about last episode, and we want to continue to talk about today. How do we're talking about the different levels of the vision plan. Vic, where are we today?
Yeah, so talking about how do we create that vision for your church? This is all, again, in that organizational clarity part of the Movement Ready framework. And so as we begin to do that together, we're going to be working through the vision plan, which is one tool that we use that puts all of your language in one spot. And so a lot of times, like, I mean, I remember getting out of seminary and then started to like look at different languages, and it's like, I never was prepared for like mission statements and strategies and visions and values. And is it qualitative? Is it quantitative? Like I didn't know how to put that all together. And so this vision plan puts all of your language of your church and of your movement in one place. And so over the next few episodes, we're going to build from the bottom to the top. And so starting with the motivation level. And so the motivation level is the why behind anything and everything. And we're going to talk about the mission statement today. And then in the next podcast, your disciples. And so today, the very base, the mission statement, that's where we're at as we build the vision plan together.
Okay. That was a great introduction, the mission statement there. And when we think about mission statements, this is something, especially with the church growth movement, you're supposed to have a mission statement and you're supposed to have a vision statement. And it was hard for me to always understand the difference and what that was. And then I think it's hard for some pastors and churches to come up with the mission statement. Why can't we just use the Great Commission? I got asked that last week in a meeting I was at. Jesus already gave us the mission. Why can't we just use the Great Commission in that? Which is a great question. I think sometimes churches and pastors struggle with this. What are the most common mistakes you've seen in working with all the churches that you've worked with when it comes to setting up a mission statement?
Yeah. One thing too, you just said there that I thought was really good. Difference between mission and a vision statement, and how like everybody's kind of got their own different terminology. When we talk about mission, we're talking about your church's purpose. It's why behind anything and everything you do. A lot of times vision statements, what they are, that represents where you're going. And that's at the third level of your map. And so we talk about the future and what we hope it holds. So your mission here is, man, behind everything we do, what is that motivation? And so when we look at it, there's mission statements. When I start talking about it with pastors, often pastors just like most don't lean in because they rarely see a mission statement that actually matters. One that actually moves the needle, that's changing your culture. And so anytime I start talking about mission statements and there's a skepticism to it or an apathy to it, usually you fall into one of four traps. And so I'll kind of unpack each of these. But sure enough, I just did this last week. I was in Augusta, Georgia. I was with a church helping them with a mission statement. And the person there was just like, I mean, the whole time, they're just like, they're just step back. They're skeptical. The lead pastor doesn't even really want to be going through the exercises. And I just like kind of leaned in. I was like, I mean, what's your take on mission statements? Where are you at? And he goes, the jury's still out if this is actually going to matter.
Oof.
And I was like, love it. Thanks for the honesty. Here is how I think it's going to matter. And by the end of it, we landed at an incredible place. He texted me actually just yesterday, a week later, and was like, man, yesterday was a trajectory changing, or last week was a trajectory changing day for us. And so you can get there. This episode, I'm going to share how we get there from one that doesn't matter to one that does. So when it doesn't matter, 4 mistakes that I often see, and then Jeremy, you've seen this as well in all your training. So just like jump in wherever you add whatever I miss here.
Okay.
Mistake 1 is mission statements that don't matter is when your mission was written for your bylaws. Each of these, when a mission statement doesn't matter, it's because you've written them for something else other than your people. It doesn't actually connect with your people. And so the first one is that it's written for your bylaws. And what this is, these are those mission statements that are too technical. These are the ones that take multiple breaths to say. They include theological terms that, like, I'm coming back to my seminary days. It is very technical. It is the most uninspiring statement. And the reason is these statements were written in a lot of ways for bylaws and for protecting doctrine. Here's the thing, protecting doctrine, super important. We need to do it. It's just a poor use of your mission statement. And so your mission statement should be for your people. It should be like a rally cry that moves them to action. When you write them to protect doctrine, it does the absolute opposite. It informs them of some things, but ultimately it's not relevant for them, doesn't call them into action. So there's the first one, mission statement written for your bylaws. The second here is mission statements that are written for the staff. And so this is ultimately a mission statement that's too segmented. It is for a select group of people in your church, your staff, not for everyone. And here's how you know I can always tell whenever this statement happens because it includes one of 2 words. It's a mission statement. I'm about to upset some people here. I'm about to call somebody out there and be like, crud, that is ours right now. A mission statement that includes the word equip or empower. And there's so many out there. We exist to equip, blah, 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 or empower, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. No stay-at-home mom wakes up in the morning and says, man, I need to go equip other stay-at-home moms in my neighborhood. Like, no one is thinking like that.
Yeah.
That language, what that is, pastors love to create visions that other pastors love, but their people don't care for. And that's what this is. And so I personally love the word equip. I love the word empower. And so I'm a pastor. I love it. That's what I'm called to do too. Ephesians 4:13, equip the saints for the works of ministry. But what we need is a statement that doesn't just apply to your staff, it applies to all your people. And the moment you put equip or empower in it, people look and say, oh, the mission of our church is fulfilled not by me, but by our staff. I did
Yeah.
this here with, we were doing a doctoral intensive, and we were doing it with 16 pastors. There's a guy in there, unbelievable church of like 7,000 in Texas. Seen some great things happen, but he's felt stuck because it feels like our staff's just owning everything, not his people. And whenever I said this, he looked, and after 21 years, he goes, our mission statement has equip in it. And we totally are feeling that our staff is who everybody looks to fulfill the mission. Our people don't own it.
Yeah.
So that's that's the second one. And
That's a
so how do
good
we
one, man.
equip
Yeah.
or empower? All right, third one here, mission. The third trap is when you make a mission statement that is for every church. This is the one that you just said, like, don't we already have a mission? It's the Great Commission. And it's like, yes, we do. Like, the Great Commission is there, and that's the starting point for what we do. But ultimately, there's a unique way in which you go about bringing out the Great Commission. If I go to your church, if I spend 10 years at your church versus 10 years at the church down the road, I'm going to come out a different person. I'm going to have a different experiences because there's unique ways in which you are fulfilling the Great Commission. You're in a unique community that struggles with certain select challenges that are there more than others. You have unique convictions as a leadership. Your congregation has a unique collection of gifts. How do we name that in a way that's unique to you? And so what I always see is churches, they do just what you say. It's a generic statement. Love God, love people, make disciples. Or again, I'm going to upset somebody. I've run into a church once a week that has the mission statement of helping people find and follow Jesus. Like, we all have these, and what it is, it falls into generic yet not inspiring. And so, like, what that is, my friend says it this way: it's like a restaurant that says that they serve food.
Our
Like,
mission is to serve food to people. That's hot.
and you're like, well, duh. Or that's
Yeah.
not. So at one end, it's not inspiring, but then two, it's not clarifying. For instance, find and follow Jesus. What does it mean to find Jesus? What does it mean to follow Jesus? And because it's so generic in general, everyone interprets it in a different way, and none of our people actually know what it means.
So it's kind of the opposite of mistake one. That's too technical. This is too
Yeah.
generic and too vague. I think this is a super common one for pastors to fall into because partly because, and this is part of the genius of Replicate, in my opinion, is the uniqueness that we help you find as you go through this process. I think it's hard work when you're in something to be able to pull out of it and really see why it's unique.
Right.
That's super hard work. And the churches that have done that and just nailed like the DNA of their community are the ones that are thriving. And so I
Yes.
think that's what's helpful about you and Brad and other people coming in and just kind of helping us pull out and see. I remember when we did the exercise of the unique people, place, and passion of this area in Northwest Florida that Crosspoint was in. It was fun and it's celebratory in some ways, a little convicting in other ways, but
Sure.
to look at the unique culture, the unique people, the unique passions, and then put all this within that context. I don't know that we could have done it on our own.
Well, but you feel the excitement, the ownership to that. You don't get that with a generic mission statement. People just look at like, yeah, that's what we do. But they're not looking to say, oh man, that's what we've been called to do. That's the opportunity we have. That's why God's placed us here. And so that's what when you get more to specific in how is he uniquely prepared your church to make a unique impact in the community. All right. Fourth mistake here is that the mission, it's for your community. And so what that is it becomes the mission statement is too simple. And so this one right here, I think we've done this before. So act surprised when I ask you it. Nike's mission statement, you know it?
Is it just do it?
Yeah, so that's what everybody goes
Everybody
to.
thinks that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's actually Nike's tagline.
Mm.
And so Nike's mission is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. And so they actually put an asterisk over athletes, says if you have a body, you're an athlete. And so, but that's their mission statement. I'll often, like, I wrote it down beforehand because I don't really remember that. But here's the deal. I'm not part of their staff. I'm not their team. There's a difference between a church tagline and a church mission statement. A church tagline is a statement for the people outside the church to attract them in. A mission statement is something for its people in the church to send them out. Your mission statement should be inspiring people to go and live on mission, to go and make disciples. It is marching orders for the people that are committed to your church. And so the tagline, when we create a mission that's for our community, it's really just a tagline mission. And so we say things like whatever that tagline may be, and it's for our community to know, hey, here's what we're about, or here's what we're passionate about. But what it does for our people, it's simplistic and it doesn't call them to the mission that we want to. All right, so there's the 4. Mission for your bylaws is too technical. Your staff is too segmented. Your church is too generic. Or for every church, it's too generic. Or for your community, it's too simple. So, Jeremy, when you guys started, which one of these traps do you feel like you fell into, and what impact was that having in your church?
I think we made mistake number 4, mission for your community, because what we had was a great tagline. It was a just do it tagline. Like everybody knew the tagline. It was everywhere. It was on every T-shirt. It was on bumper stickers. It was, and we're in not big communities, but not super, super small. We're in medium-sized communities where everybody knows about our church. And so connecting people to Christ was the tagline. And it was all over the place. If you were to ask somebody about Crosspoint and what we're about, they would have said, especially our people, but they would have said, we're about connecting people to Christ. What was missing in that is the key to my whole story with disciple making is like, what does that mean? Winning them to Jesus? Is it bringing them to a worship service? There's a lot of ways you can connect people to Christ and a lot of different meanings of that. Yeah. And there was nothing around it. That's no criticism on anybody. But I didn't know what it meant. And our staff didn't know how to organize around it, how to organize the rest of our church around it as well. So that was kind of it really represented the culture of our church in some ways, because we were doing a lot of things to try to go out there and connect people to Christ, but it wasn't focused in any way. And we weren't making disciples who could make disciples who could make disciples, because the job was just connect them to Christ, something like that. So I think that's what we fell into.
Yeah, I remember after our first time, like before we got into mission work, and like I rolled up, and I mean, connecting people to Christ was like on every building. It's like etched into things, like, but it's not just in the church, like it's in your community, like anywhere where Crosspoint's logo was at the ball field or whatever, that statement was there. And I just remember like, man, what are we going to do with this? Because it's like, it's so important, but also it's only telling half the story. What you were saying was like we were connecting people, evangelism, but we weren't doing discipleship and multiplication. And so, love, like definitely a tagline. I actually use you guys often. I was like, it was the quintessential tagline. It was known by everyone.
Yeah.
But you guys were missing something and you had an angst. And so, all right, before we talk about the other side, let's, what I think you guys have done so well is you've now created a mission statement. And I think, if we talked about the mistakes, the flip side of it is what actually makes a great one. And I think you guys represent that well. But the big idea with how do we make a mission statement that works is it can't be for your bylaws, can't be for your staff, for every church or your community. It has to be for your people. The mission statement is like a rally cry. It's something that your people look and say, that's my job. That's my responsibility. And so here's the big question that I would ask for anybody right now, if they're looking at how effective is their mission statement, is if you asked your people this question, what would they say? Who owns the mission? Or another way of saying it is, who accomplishes the mission. And so another friend of mine, he take that idea, helping people find and follow Jesus. There's a church has this mission statement. It is clear. It is known by everyone. I mean, every person knows that's their mission statement. They went and asked 10 people in their church, who's responsible for it? And 10 out of 10 looks at the pastor and says, oh, you are, pastor. That's what you do. And in that moment, he realized he had a problem. You have a clear mission statement, but it's one that's not owned by your people. And so that's where so many staffs find themselves. They're exhausted. They're frustrated because they feel like they're doing all the works of the ministry and their people are just sitting on the sideline. But what it is our words, our mission statements are often unintentionally written in ways that continue to reinforce that. And what we have to do is we have to help our people see that the mission of our church, it is our people's responsibility alongside of our staff's. All of us are in it together. And so what makes a great mission statement is, does it get our people to own the mission and to step into it? And I think you guys represent that shift so well. Hey, church leader, I hope these podcast episodes and the Movement Ready Church book that Robbie and I have written are helping you get disciple making started in your church. What I'm excited for in the next season is that we're taking the Movement Ready Church book to your church. We are doing one-day workshops where myself or one of the navigators on our Replicate team come on site to your church and work with your staff and leaders to take the principles of this book and to put it into action. What I love about this workshop is that we're not going to do just trainings from the book, but we are actually going to help you create something personal for your church. We're going to give every one of your leaders some essential training to grow as disciple makers and to be a developer of leaders. Secondly, we're going to give you a personalized assessment of your disciple-making culture. And then thirdly, we're going to create a one-year focus and a first step to get started so that you can see your movement begin. So all you have to do is go to movementreadytraining.com to get more information and to get started. You'll see it's pretty simple. Let's jump on a call together. Let's create a personalized training day for your church, and then let our team take care of the rest. And we will bring the Movement Ready Church to your church. So just go to movementreadychurchtraining.com and let's get your movement started. Now, let's get back to our conversation together. And so, Jeremy, tell us a little bit now the new mission statement, and then just share a little bit like the story behind it. What do you remember from it? And, tell us a little bit of the experience of getting there.
Well, first off, the flip of it's not for the community, it's for your people, and getting them to own it and getting them bought into it. Like, who did Jesus tell the Great Commission to? Just the people on the mountain.
That's good.
As before he left. And so that flip is so important. And I don't know that we're ever taught that. We're just taught you need a mission and vision statement. You need to put it everywhere. And it, needs to be compelling in some way.
Well, that's the seeker-sensitive church growth season, is you're creating something to attract people in. I have no problem with that, but I do have a problem if that's the only way that we're going after growth. Like, I want people to feel attracted. I want the community to know what we're about. And I want to be able to send our people out to go and multiply their lives. And so I think it's just an evolution from, the last couple of decades of a church growth that was all about attractional. Our mission statements sometimes reflect that as well. And so I've never connected it to the Great Commission. That was awesome, man. Where was that before I wrote the book? Dadgummit.
Well, so I think that's one of the reasons pastors are leery of another mission statement or going through another thing, is because we got told this. And now all of a sudden, now we're being told this. And is there going to be another evolution of mission statement stuff? To me, it's kind of like disciple making. Disciple making is not a fad. You don't have, this is not another church growth program. Yep. This is going back to the beginning and what it really is. And that'll never go away. So, ours was connecting people to Christ, and I've already told you about that. And Vic asked at the beginning, he's like, what are the sacred cows? What are the things that we can't get rid of? and we were like connecting people to Christ. So we were skeptical about how that was going to play itself out as well. And we had
See, I remember that a little differently.
You
It
do?
was split in the room.
Okay.
The people that had been there, which was you, was like, it's a sacred cow.
Yeah.
The new people were like, we don't care about it. Like, it was a good split, like not bad, but I remember there was half of your staff that was like, this is who we've been and we can't deviate. And then the other half was like, we think that it holds us back. And it was great conversation and tension. But I think some loved it. Some were like, yeah, it's okay. And so now continue on. But I do think you had both sides.
Okay, that's good memory. I don't, like I said before, I don't know how you.
Well, you were on
remember
the side that had been there.
Well, I was also coming off a pastor who had been here for 24 years,
Right.
and had built an incredible culture, and is still part of our staff. And so I'm thinking we can't change everything.
That's
you
right.
know, we've got to keep some of that history and some of that tradition and some of that culture. So what we ended up with is people connecting people to Christ. Remember, connecting people to Christ was the main thing there. People connecting people to Christ and their unique role in God's mission. So what I love about that is it honors the heart of the gospel and the call of Jesus to make disciple makers. We have the general call of God in that first part on everybody, but that one word before, people connecting people to Christ, changes the location of who's doing the connecting to Christ.
Yeah.
And now it's put it on all of us to be disciple makers. That's the general call of God, and it had the personal specific call of God in there as well, and your unique role in God's mission. One of my friends who's the best theologian I know, shout out Darius Barnes, he gave he gave the thing like, hey, it's got to remain God's mission. It's not Crosspoint's mission, it's not Jeremy's mission, it's not Vic's mission, it's not anybody's mission. It's God's mission that you're on. But you have a unique way that God wants to carry out his mission in this world to bring the kingdom of heaven to this earth, to people's hearts and lives. And we already had that, like, hey, how can we help people find their personal calling? And so we have the general call of God on everybody to be a disciple maker, and changing the location of that from just the staff and the church at the church building to people, and then the unique call of God, the personal calling of God on everybody. And the way that's played itself out is so beautifully. Like when we do kingdom circle stuff or disciple story, kingdom circle stuff, we're able to talk about, this isn't just a program we're doing. This is a part of the call of God for our church. This is our why, helping people find their unique role in God's mission, helping people become the unique disciple maker that God has created you to be. If you stand up in front of your people and say, we want to help you be the unique reflection of Jesus and the unique disciple maker to reach the unique people he's called you to reach, that's a whole different ball game. Right. I love it so much because I'm saying we can help you. We can equip you. We're talking about equipping and empowering without using the equipping and empowering words. Yeah. So that's one way it plays itself out. And then for our staff, one of the things that we're constantly trying to do, because we've been so steeped in this culture of the staff does everything, is it's not players performing in a program. You are a coach calling and commissioning people into their circles. That's you know, and so that shift, the mission statement helps with that shift as well, because it says it's their job to connect people to Christ in their circles. And it's our job to help them do that and find the unique way that they've been called to do that. So it helps us reshape the staff and their role. Now, work in progress. We're not there yet.
Sure.
It helps them. It helps our people know that it's their job to go do this and that we're here to help them do that.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. I mean, and two, you got evangelism on the front end and discipleship and multiplication on the back end. And it's just what's wild is it's one simple statement, but it is so rich in meaning in it. And I think too, it's super contextual. connecting people to Christ is so you guys, but also you're in a military community. So the unique role in God's mission, like, man, that's embraced in that community. And
Yeah.
so I think there's so much to that. And what I find so often is that our people, we get stuck. Like I was doing that mission statement last week with this church, and man, we're throwing words on a wall, and it feels like we're spinning wheels for an hour and a half. And what it is everything, like, it's way too long of a statement. It's too technical. There's like 4 or 5 different commas in it because it represents like 8 different ideas. And every time we try to go, like, I mean, the lead pastor just like, I can't get any clearer. I can't get any simpler. Like, finally, we just walked outside. We said, Holy Spirit, pray like for clarity. We came back in 5 minutes. We landed, and it's awesome. But so often we give up and we settle for something generic or settle for something too technical. You guys did the hard work and got it so simple, but it represents who you are. It gives clarity to what you're about. And so, and two, like you said, it can help everybody, kids, student, adults. That mission statement can have purpose and drive specificity and direction for them. And so I love what it is. But two, I think what you nail that is so important for people, you said it, you followed a legacy pastor. There's so much there that what you couldn't do is just blow everything up. Like, there is so much good that you were trying to preserve. You were just trying to move it into its next chapter. And what if you're a pastor and you're trying to figure out, how do I step into a new season and honor the past but create the future? What you need is to do what Jeremy and his team did. Is you need a mission statement that feels familiar but fresh. Familiar in that this is who we've always been, but fresh in, hey, this is what's coming in the next season. This is who we must become in the future. And you guys nailed that because it was familiar. We've always been connecting people to Christ. And I remember, I don't know if you do, but as we rolled it out to your leadership, somebody came up and said, man, this is who we've always been. It's just kind of like our next chapter. And I think that's where you united. You had 2 groups. One, that connecting people to Christ was a sacred cow. We can't leave it. The other said, we don't care. Like, let's create the future. That mission statement brought them both together in a way that you were able to move forward. And you built on the shoulders of rural and others in a way that was really powerful. And I think that right there, for many pastors listening right now, that's so important in designing your mission statement, to have the discernment for that and to find a way to create something that's familiar but fresh.
And thank you, Vic, and praise God for that. I would say this on top of that: if you're a pastor out there, you're feeling the conviction, like, we don't have that, we need that. How do we get something like that? There's people out there to help, like, replicate, but also you don't have to do it by yourself. The genius of what we were led to do is we had a team figuring this out together. And I remember we went off into little teams and came up with multiple different versions of mission statements, and and I came back into that where we were going to report on what we had. And I'm like, oh, this is it. I'm not accepting any other answer. We've got the right one. And then hearing different people's thoughts and coming, it was so good. It's the collective genius. I want to bust the myth a little bit of, you need to go up to the mountaintop. There is some of that. But you need to go up to the mountaintop, have it all figured out, and then bring it back to people. No, this is the body of Christ coming together to help your church be the disciple-making movement it's created to be.
We talked about that, just to speak briefly. I think the mountaintop moment for you and your story, and what I would encourage for lead pastor, is you got direction, but you didn't come down with all of the words and all the details. And sometimes we go up to the mountaintop, get direction and details, and then we make it a directive. And when we do that, like, it completely undercuts ownership, and it undercuts the diversity and the power of the body of Christ. If you're the leader, go away, get direction. And what your direction was, hey, we've got to be about making disciples. There's a second part to this that we need. But you didn't come back with, here are the exact words, here's all the details, and now go run and do this. You came back with enough there that you said, let's make this a priority. And your team determined the words and the details in a way that all of you, what you did is you created something together. And what your people create, they own. And that's what happened. Final thing here, just sharing, if this is you, as we think about how do you shift your mission statement, one other story there, and then we'll be done, is that you want to make sure this mission statement goes from being carried out by your staff to your people. Our friend Todd Conitz and I did this similar to you guys. We're rolling out the vision, but they shared his mission statement, and he asked his people, he said, hey, what would be your feedback for us? What do you like? And are there any things that would prevent you from fully embracing this mission statement? First thing he says, what I love about it is it's basically the Great Commissioning for dummies. And so says this resonates. It's simple. I understand it. It fits us. It's good. What would prevent me from fully embracing it? He said, man, I can't hide behind that mission statement. I'm responsible for fulfilling it. And in that moment, Todd looks at me and goes, dude, I love that. And I said, bro, that's how you know you nailed it. And we fist bumped one another. But what that is, that's the moment that your mission statement has to create. That the ownership of it, who's responsible for it, is not you as the pastor. It's not your staff. It's every person in your church. And when that stay-at-home mom wakes up and is like, okay, what needs to be my focus and priority? Your mission statement should give words to the direction that is needed. And so that's the call for it. And so if your mission statement isn't accomplishing that, a couple of things I'd recommend. Movement Ready Church, we unpack this a little bit more fully in the book, but also we'll put a link in there. Our team would love to talk with you about how we help teams do that and how we might be able to walk alongside you in the next season ahead if you need to create your mission statement. As always, if this has been helpful for you, share it with maybe it's other people on your staff. Maybe you can start a conversation of saying, man, how effective do we feel like our mission statement's being? But share it. And as always, subscribe. We are grateful for you and excited for our next conversation where we go up to the disciples level and talk about who are the disciples that you're developing and how do you change your scoreboard for success. Until next time, we'll see you then.